All right, guys, all done. All right, Johnny, all done. Should I say something or should I stay quiet? How many of y'all go through a situation in life where you're constantly like wondering to yourself, should I stand up and say something about this or should I just be a quiet person about this? Should I be loud and shout it to the rooftops or should I just kind of just ignore it and just let it go and let it happen? My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. and I was born July 4th of 1986. And today I read an interesting proverb that really put a lot of thought in me about something that I still don't know which way to go, because a lot of times you never know 100% anything that we should do and want to do and kind of have to do and kind of feel like at the same time that we shouldn't have to do. That you run into a situation where you're just not sure. And this passage right here really put a lot of thought in me, and something super simple. I'm being super basic, and it's Proverbs of the 17th chapter all the way down to the 28th verse. But before I read that, I just want to say a quick thank you. A thank you for being able to allow me to continue to keep doing, again, what it is that I do. Again, being able to see the progress and what it is that I'm working on and working with, to be able to really help out some folks in such a way that I don't know what it is, but it really brings me a whole lot of joy to be able to help people on this planet and be able to get them to be able to be in a better position, into a better place. Hey, Johnny, down. And be able to make sure that they are satisfied. Down. Thank you. Be satisfied with what it is that I'm able to help them out with, and not being in a unsures and tipsy-ties and not knowings. I like to really be able to help out some people on this planet. Something that it really brings the most joy out of me, and it allows me to really be able to express more of what I am, who I am, and what I'm all about with being able to do such a thing. And that's the thing that I'm going to say that I would hope that everyone on this planet is able to really be able to do, is figure out how to be able to help somebody with the skill that you have, that you're really good at, that really isn't a whole lot of work for you. It's just something that is super easy for you to do, and something for you to be able to just get done without having a whole lot of, like, as crazy it is, like a whole lot of thought pattern thinking behind it, that you just do it. You just get it done. Johnny, down. I was firm down that time. And something that is just really interesting to me is being able to make sure that when you're helping people and you're doing for them, that you're having fun while you're doing it. That it's not a stressor to you. Because if it's a stressor to you, I'm telling you, you're not doing what it is that you're supposed to do. Hey, May, come here. Sorry, my dogs today are challenging me quite a bit, because we're out here. We found some baby bunnies, and you know how dogs get with bunnies. Dogs get crazy with bunnies. Like, I don't know if you know that or not about dogs, but they love a live bunny. All them squeaky toys in the stores sound like bunnies. So when they actually find one and it starts to squeal and make noises, that's a huge training thing to try to keep your dog away from. It's hard to keep them from chasing them. And it's one thing that I really like being able to figure out how to be able to do better, is to convince them to leave them alone and just let's go our own way and leave them be with the situation that we have in hand today. I don't need to collect them. And but something that I really come to realize, if you're not happy with doing what you're doing and you're struggling with what you're doing, then you should really rethink what it is that you're doing. Because I'm telling you that you're only gonna struggle and make your life even worse, and make it even harder in a way that you're gonna end up being in a situation that you actually hate what you do, and you dislike what you do, because you're constantly doing something that's just bringing a lot of stress to you, a lot of chaos to you. And if that's what you're doing to make your money, you're struggling. You're struggling today, and we all, as a people, collectively need to figure out how to get out of that way of living and way of being, to be able to have something great and something amazing and something fantastic to be able to move forward with. But I want to read this proverb in the Proverbs of the 17th chapter all the way down to the 28th verse, and it says, "Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues." It's just this was fascinating to me about these proverbs, because it's just a fast, quick hit of just bam, knowledge right there. You don't have to read a whole lot. You don't have to get a whole lot of context behind it. It's just a fast hit of just something to really pay attention to, and just try to get as best insight you can from just some short little words. And that to me is something that is very powerful, because you can sound like and look like and be like a very intelligent person on this planet if you just stay quiet. Just stay quiet. Someone's talking and you're quiet. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what's happening. But at the same time, there's sometimes, in some places, in some instances, that we need not to do that. We need to speak up and say something, because sometimes just being quiet puts you in a position that you're defaulted to this because you didn't say anything. And we don't want to be defaulted into something, of being something, just because I didn't say something. And that's something for me to just stand up and say is what it is that I believe in, what it is that I do, what it is that I continuously keep pursuing, that I'm not going to not say it if you ask me. I'm going to have to say it, because not saying anything means that I'm not a part of it. So for me, I have to be very firm and very open and very understanding that I know you may not agree with it, but I also don't agree with things about you, and we can go back and forth with that. But I'm not going to sit out here and put any sort of judge and any sort of hate and any sort of rage against you because you don't believe what I believe. And that's something that I know like is changing today in the church. That it's a big hard push that if you don't believe what I believe, then we have it in us that we want to try and force, enslave, and destroy the others because they don't believe it. We want to try to isolate and just give up on and push away the others that don't. And that is gonna convince it's gonna convince more and more people to keep on pushing away and getting away from it, by seeing all of the toxicity that's going on with how you're trying to approach people and how you're trying to push your message to people. And that's why for me, I had to have a whole complete change of heart of pretty much everything I've been doing in reality this past few days, of doing a whole lot of thinking of what it is that I'm doing and where it is that I want to be able to go. And that main thing that I really want to be able to put out there is to make sure that I'm not a person that's putting out any sort of judgment to another person. Hey, Johnny down. That's putting out a whole lot of, hey, Oreo, you doing a faraway sneak. I see you. I see you. You smart, but I'm 20 steps ahead of you, home fries. Come here. You can come all the way here. Down and down and down. Thank you, everybody. And something that I just really have seen in me is to be able to put this judge upon other people and trying to say that I don't do that, but having to really catch myself in my own thinking pattern, my thought pattern, and hearing it aloud and watching myself evolve into it, of realizing like I still am trying to be a certain way. And it's something in me that just has to let that go, because no one is going to want to follow is a good term, I guess I can say. Nobody's going to want to follow you if you have such a negative sense about what it is that others are doing. And that because there's something I even was talking about with yesterday, that you got to put the pride down a little bit and understand that you may know a lot. You may have had a revelation in your own life about things that happened. Like for me, I had a revelation in my life, and it was the reasoning why I do what it is that I do every single day. Even having not a camera malfunction yesterday, but an internet system, YouTube situation yesterday that couldn't get the video out, couldn't get it uploaded. It would just go to a point and just stop. But I have a thing that's doing to me that I want to continue to keep doing, that I keep doing. I had a aha moment, something came to me, some clarity came to me that allowed me to be able to just witness and be a different part on this planet. But it doesn't mean that that's what it's going to be for you. And I don't want to force and push and say that that's the only way and that's the only option, and that's the only thing. And that's something that I know a lot of us are in ourselves and stuck in our egos with knowing that I have all the knowledge and I know it all because of what has happened to me. But it doesn't mean that that next person is even in their season, in their time yet. It may be the only way, but who actually really knows? And it's only the only way when you decide that you want it to be that way for your way, that you want to have a change, you want to do something, that you are finally at that point of your life that you're just saying, I want to do this and I want to make this and I kind of just need this. That for me, I ran into a situation that I needed a change, I needed something, and then for me it just came and it just happened. But it doesn't mean that it didn't. It clearly didn't happen to me years and years before, when I was struggling, when I was hurting, when I was pleading, when I was begging, when I was saying I need some relief, I need some guidance, I need some clarity. It never came to me. But yet, at some point in my life, it did come to me. And then now today, I'm seeing a difference of what's going on. That's this past few days, I've been kind of stuck in my thoughts a little bit of like overthinking about just even watching videos of my own self, of things that I'm saying, of just seeing what it is that I'm doing and seeing where it is that I'm going and seeing what I'm doing on my day-to-day, of just really questioning a whole lot. And it's something that is just absolutely fantastic, because that's the only way that I just do know for a fact, for all of us, that we're going to grow, is to question what it is that we're doing, question the information that we're researching and studying, questioning what it is, why I believe this, question why everything is out to look the way that it is, question the thing of why are you, even something earlier of a conversation, why are you attracted to a certain person? Has that been programming to you, or is that something that you just actually do want and like for your own self? That's something that it can really put you in a jam if you're being, say, programmed into something where everyone in society says this is the ideal, and then you're just looking at it like, I'm not really into that. And then you force yourself to get into that because that's what the society says is the ideal way of living and the ideal thing of being. And then you realize that I don't like it. I mean, it could be something as simple as, but not simple, but it should be simple, but somewhat complicated, of like owning a home and owning some land in America. Everyone would say like, that's what we should do, and that's how we should be, and that's the best way to do it. But some people get into that and you feel even more trapped. You feel even more stuck. You feel like, now I can't like just make moves. Now I'm forced upon to be here, and it's easy to get in, but it's not so easy to get out. And shoot, that's just like a marriage in reality. It's so easy to get in. You get in 15 seconds, but to get out of that process, you need this person, this got to sign off, this got to get here. You need a survey on this. You got an inspection on this. You got to do all these little things to get out of it. And a lot of times we're not looking at the get out part. We're only looking at the get in. And sometimes it can really put us in a jam when we get into some of these things, because we realize it's what everyone wanted, but it's not what I wanted. It's not the route that I want to go. And it's something for us to just really stand up and speak that and say that, instead of just being silent. Because the more that we're silent about all these things that go on, the more that we're agreeing with it. And there's certain topics and certain issues that we just got to stand up and say something to just put that out there, instead of just being quiet. Because being quiet, I'm telling you, you're being forced into a box, a check mark of a yes or a no, just being silent. Sometimes you just need to say a simple 1-2 words so that we can figure out which check mark that is, to make sure that we're on the right path, to make sure that we are all collectively wanting that same thing, as opposed to just assuming that we are on that same path. And that's something, a very powerful word, and a very powerful, sticky situation of a word that, you that excited, huh, Johnny? You can hang out with me. That assuming something is very dangerous. It could lead to absolute destruction, because once we start to get into that route, and that route of being quiet, that makes you think that to the world, in reality, you sound intelligent by being quiet because you got no input. But half is going to think that you're intelligent, the other half is going to think that you're not so quite there in your brain, because you don't have any input. You don't have anything to say. So we need to make sure that we are standing up and speaking for the things that we believe in, and saying what we believe in, and say what we really mean with what we believe in, and not just going along with what everybody wants to tell us to do and everything that we should be about. Because for me, being a citizen and a living person in the United States of America, buying a home is not all that it's cracked up to be. And you don't really make it out the way that you really think that you're going to make it out in the end. A lot of people say, oh, you can sell it and make money. I did such a thing. On my closing day, I made money. But yet I put way more money into it in the time that I was in it than I actually got in the end. So in reality, I was negative the whole time. And I had to deal with all the repairs and all the problems and all of this. It's not for everybody. For some people, it's the right to go. And other people, it's not. And there's many situations. This is a simple thing of talking about a dang on house. That there's many situations that go on in our day to day that we force ourselves and put ourselves in because we see that everybody else does it. And then when people don't stand up and say the hidden things behind it, the hidden issues behind it, then we just kind of more go into it and think that, yeah, they didn't say anything was bad about it, and they didn't say anything was good about it. So yeah, I want to go ahead and get on board with that. That's something that we as a people need to figure out how to be able to get out of that. That we need to just speak up and just say what it is that's on our mind with certain circumstances. And that does not mean to come out here and start to put on some hate on people, try to slander people, try to dominate and destroy people. That doesn't mean any of that. That means that you need to put a valid educational, because we're all educated. I don't care where you live in this world. We are all educated. Our parents have taught us something to be able to live and be able to do something. And education has nothing to do with going, hey, Johnny, we're going to a fancy school and getting a fancy degree with a very high price monetary ticket to it. Education is a matter of figuring out and knowing how to be able to live and be able to make do what you need to be able to make do on this planet. And we are all educated enough to be able to make an educated decision on things and certain topics that are going on, especially in the United States of America. And we got a lot of sticky topics that are always being discussed and talked about, and you being quiet can make you sound like you on board, or you agree, or you don't agree, or anything. And sometimes we just need to actually stand up and say something about it, instead of allowing people to just tell us what it is and tell us what we believe and tell us what I want and tell me what I like and tell me where I should go. That's not how we as a people function the best. The best way that we function is when we actually stand up and have our voice be heard. And that's something that I just see is happening with the situation with our whole democracy going on in this country, that we are not actually standing up and saying anything. And it's a false on me, even my own self, for never even voting and never even getting into that system, because the more that I don't do such a thing is the more that someone is going to just assume who I am and what I'm all about. And I don't want anybody doing that. And none of us want any of us doing that. And that's where I can see we're having a disconnect today, because a lot of us are just quitting on the game. And it's a game, unfortunately. And we need to turn it back into a system, a working system, not a little show, a little TV show, or some sort of video game as it is in reality today. We need to figure out how to be able to turn this back into a working system for us, the people that are out here, being able to do what we do. And that starts with us being able to stand up and be able to say what it is that we want, say what it is that we don't want, instead of allowing the people just to put that upon us. And with that, man, I just want to say thank you. And I want to say, Johnny, come here. And I want to say, I'm so pleased to be able to have the interesting situations that constantly keep coming to me, and the interesting topics that come to me, and the interesting things that come to me that just really get me think, and the interesting Bible verses that come to me also to just really amplify the thinking that I've already been thinking with everything that's been going on. It's something that's so fascinating to me. It's so fascinating that a simple sentence, a simple statement, not even a sentence, a simple statement, a 10-word statement can really just change a lot in your view in your life of what it is that you're doing and what it is that you want to continue to do. And it can really make you reflect on what you've been doing in a way of thinking like not thinking like, but knowing like what you used to do was actually wrong, and it wasn't to help anybody or even yourself. It was actually destroying you. And you can listen to 10 words that could just get you to shift and to go into something and somewhere completely different. That's what I'm going to say is the power of the Bible, that it's an alive book that is very fascinating and very interesting, that can really get inside of you and put some thoughts inside of you to really just get you to rethink everything that you've been doing. And that's something to me that is just so powerful, because a lot of times we think that we're doing good, we think that we're thinking right, we think that the things that we want are on our own means and our own wants, and you come to realize like somebody is like almost like manipulating you into wanting this and liking this and being about this. And that's something that unfortunately a lot of these huge churches are starting to do, and it's very, very unfortunate, because we're using the Bible in a way to try to manipulate people in. But I'm telling you, there's one thing that I'm just going to say as a matter of fact, of a fact on beyond on fact. If you're not liking, loving, enjoying, very pleased with what it is that you're doing, it's not for you. It's not what you should be doing. And a lot of times we're going to a lot of these churches, a lot of these organizations, a lot of these places, and we don't actually like it. We don't actually enjoy it. We just do it. We just like get it done like it's some sort of work. And I'm telling you, you're not getting the message that you're needing. You're not getting the information that you need. You're getting distracted. And you're getting distracted in a way that's getting you further and further away from what it is that you should be doing and who it is that you are. That you're only just hurting yourself and slowing yourself down from being able to have a great mindset and a great thinking and a better, greater, more exciting life. That's just something to me that is just so powerful and so amazing, of knowing that you know when you're right, when you are starting to enjoy, when you are starting to just want to share more and be able to talk to more people about it. You are on the right path. And that's something that I would challenge more and more people with, is still read the Bible, read a couple paragraphs a day, and just read it. Just grab it, open it, read it, and just say, oh, okay, that was interesting. Now, next day, do the same thing again. I'll just challenge you with that. And I'll just challenge you with just opening yourself up to realize that we're not out here alone, Johnny. We're not out here alone, that something created this, something made this, and something is greater than just who we are as a person. And then once we really start to understand that, you're really going to start to understand what the next challenge is, looking at the next person as we are equal. That we are no greater than the other. You are no more intelligent than the other. That we are of an equal being. And some of us may have more intelligence in a certain place because of, a good word to use is privilege, that you have had that opportunity to, but it doesn't mean that you are superior or better than anybody. That's just something that I would challenge everybody with, to look at the next person next to you as an extremely intelligent person the same way that you are, and you're really going to be able to amplify your existence on this planet. Thank you.